You had many such hideouts. When I was commanding the division in
I covered
Baramulla,
it, sir.
yeah. So you had these. All right. So it's not really a matter of deep concern. All the same, I mean, let's take a look at what are the real terror indices and the violence levels. And no, before anything else, let's pay homage to Havildar Gajendra Singh, who lost his life in this contract operation. So, and now let's come to the larger issue. While there is no change of intent, in Asim Munir and his terror enterprise, and that only keeps growing, I think violence levels are down at an all-time low. If you heard what the chief had to say on Army Day, 35% of the terrorists, or 65%, sorry, of the terrorists killed last year were foreign terrorists. And local recruitment, he said, was only two last year. That is in single digits. So, while these kind of incidents to engineer terror events around events like Republic Day are shall we say, an old piece of trick, overall, the violence levels are seriously down. Local recruitment has been virtually snuffed out. Tourism is growing. The Amarnath Yatra has been peaceful. Politics has begun to flow. Developmental activities accelerating. So I think the nexus that you point out, OGWs, the financial nexus, while there will be some cases, overall that nexus has virtually been uh, uh, eradicated. Excess is increasing. For example, when I was commanding the division in Baramulla, on the other side of the river, there was not even a police station. Now I'm told there are four. And similarly, all across Kashmir, the civil administration is reasserting its authority. So these are, I think, welcome signs. And I'll say that while the violence, the terror indices are at an all-time low, and as far as these operations are concerned, finessing of tactical operations will be done by the corps and divisional commanders. They'll tighten the noose further. But this point that I wish to make is that, ultimately the solution with Pakistan is to have combat over match. I mean, look, a country which is what, one-tenth of our economy should not even think of pricking us with these, periodic episodes of terror. So here we have to increase our military capacities, technologically enable them, calibrate them, and we must start going after the terror infrastructure, like the Israelis have gone after Hamas. We must go after Jaish. We must increase our capacity to carry out leadership strikes. Overall, the lethality along the LC must be increased. And today there are ways of doing it through dronery, through, shall we say, software-enabled command and control systems where we can make the kill chains more lethal. And none of this is theory. This is happening in Ukraine and other places. Swarm strikes on abetting headquarters, covert operations. It is in this dimension, I think, we now really need to pull our punches.
So
So
basic,
while we must continue to nuance the tactical operations, uh, we must achieve this combat overmatch. And I'm not making a case of, for military jingoism. I'm saying calibrated technological capacities. Each time Pakistan does something, it must be hit harder and harder in an escalatory ladder. And that will help to, snuff out this terror once and for all.
uh, I understand you are saying that India has already called off the Pakistan's nuclear bluff, but can we do something which the Israel does? When it meets adversaries, for example, there's a lot of criticism, but what they have done in Yemen or, for example, Iran, the deterrence message is very strong.
So I'm not making, I mean, see, Israel has been a little lax on collateral damage. So I'm not making that case.
Okay.
The Indian Army is our professionalism lies in lethality, but not in collateral damage.
Okay.
Look at the patience we've shown in Kashmir, three
Yes.
decades. We've never used anything more than a rocket. So I'm making a nuanced difference, but lethality of the absolute resolve kind, what the Americans demonstrated in Venezuela. I mean, today it may sound fantasy, but one day, why not extract terror masterminds for trials in Indian courts? If you build these capacities bit by bit, technologically enable them, calibrate them, along with all the stuff that is going on, the tactical counter-terror operations on our side of the border. But if Pakistan, doesn't get the message, despite the many warnings that we've sounded, I think we'll have no option to escalate things, but that will have to come for what is combat over match. Why should our economic differential not also get reflected in strategic military might? And we are not provoking. We are only saying that we will respond if you continue to needle us. And now see, the arc of terror is growing. It is not only north and south of Peer Panjal. If you followed Asim Munir and his cohorts, they are threatening strikes from Bangladesh.
Absolutely,
So
sir. But then how do we change that? How do we change the nature of how do we change the behavior of the Pakistani state? If you're talking about deterrence, then what's the solution? Then how do we create that deterrence, sir, so that they behave differently with us?
So what does this combat overmatch mean? Decades ago, Mr. Subramaniam, K. Subramaniam, the author of the Kargil Review Committee, when he spoke of the DIA and the theatre commands, he was talking exactly of this. The theatre commanders and the DIA collectively should shape events in our region. I mean, no country tolerates such a, shall I say, unstable periphery as does India. America doesn't do it. China doesn't do it. And I'm not making a case for military jingoism. But we have to shape
I get your
events.
point. I think I get your point. I get your point,
and
sir.
We must have a 3-star in the MEA who coordinates or who integrates diplomacy with, what should we say, grey zone operations and the instrument of force. We should do it in a preemptive manner, covert operations, intelligence, all this can come together. I mean, if the Americans, look at what they did in Absolute Resolve. So stealth drones, CIA agents, and everybody coming together, and it is only to be done as an instrument of last resort. So the DGDIA was set up to shape the regional environment. And now he is doing intelligence in J&K. That was not why he was created. So we have to punch in accord with our strategic weight. We are rather coy of doing that. And I think the time has now come. And look at this. We keep saying 4th largest economy. The Lowy Institute also ranks us as the 3rd largest in Asia in terms of comprehensive national power. So that comprehensive national power should also start reflecting in strategic military terms. So it will need a change in mindset, then in capacities. What is largely in our favor is that we have a military under complete political control. So we are only create capacities to expand political options. The ultimate call is of the politician, not of the military. So that's the happy space we are in.
Absolutely, sir. 30 seconds, you use the word coy. Where does this coyness come from, sir?
I mean, coyness comes from, see, gradually we've overcome this. But there was a time when he would strike us, our response would be feeble, it would be uncoordinated.
Yes.
Then we did the surgical strikes, then we did Balakot.
Yes.
And now, the last time, I mean, he couldn't protect his skies.
Yes.
And once again, look at the argument. We are not initiating operations. You are poking us repeatedly.
Yes.
If you poke a country of India's size, it cannot be coy. I would like to use, Arun Shore's famous phrase. He said कि भाई जुल्म वो करते हैं शर्माए हम जाते हैं. अब हमने शर्माना बंद कर दिया है, but we have to now also reflect our military power. And this is once again, look at these chaps, they don't change. Asim Munir is going on about the same terror stuff. Look how Hamas is being surgically destroyed. Now, if it is a terror outfit, the Jaish, I mean, how can it exist? Because now it will not end here. The Jaish chief has been traveling to Dhaka. ISI is in Dhaka. DG ISI has traveled to Dhaka. Asim Munir has openly called for terror strikes from the east.
Okay.
Absolutely. So in that sense, what do you do?
Very well put. Very well put, sir. Zulm wo karte hain aur sharmaye hum jate hain. Thank you so much.
Not me, that was Arun Shori.
That was Arun Shori, but very well put in this context. Thank you. Thank you so much, General. Thank you so much for joining me. This was on point 3. Next up, on point number 4 is your voice can help in timely diagnosis of your disease. Yes, it's your voice, but after a short break.
खेलता है झूलता लड़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
तेरी एक जिद और